Hey everyone, welcome to Out of the Box EA. In episode 2, we secured our API with API key, simple string that never change. Today we were stepping up to JSON Web Token. JSON Web Token is the industry standard for modern API authentication used by Google, Facebook, Twitter, and modern platforms. Unlike API key, JSON Web Token contains information about the user, have atomic expiry, and cannot be tampered. Before implementing JSON Web Token in the SAP API Management, let me explain what exactly JSON Web Token will do. JSON Web Token look like a long encoded string with three parts separated by dots. The first part is the header. It tells us what algorithm was used to create the token. The second part is the payload. This contains the actual data like user ID, role, expiry time. Anyone can read this data but cannot change it. The third part is the signature. This proves the token hasn't been tampered. The signature is created using a secret key that only your servers know. If anyone change even one character of the token, the signature become invalid and the token rejected automatically. And the second diagram here we can see how the JSON Web Token will act. First, the client log into an authentication server and receive a JSON Web Token. Then, for every API request, the client sends this token in the authorization header. A- SAP API Management verify Web Token policy, check the signature and expiry. If valid, the request go through and we'll see 200 OK response. If invalid or expired, the request is blocked and we can see 401 unauthorized. Here how the JSON Web Token will act. So let's go into the SAP Integration Suite. Once we log in into SAP Integration Suite, click on the Configure. Under Configure, click on the APIs. Under API Proxy, look for the Post API Proxy. Click on the right hand side Policies. Click on the Edit button. In the left hand side, we can see Proxy Endpoint. Expand it. In the drop down, we can see Preflow. Click on it. Here, first of all, we need to disable API key. So click on the API key and come down to the XML editor. Here we can see enable. I made it as false. So by default, it should be true. So here we need to make it as false. Okay. Once it make it as a false, in the left right hand side, we can see a number of policies. Under the security policies, look for the verify JSON Web Token. Click on the plus button. Here we need to enter the name and the stream should be incoming request and click on the add button. Once we added in the XML editor, these are the things we need to update. These things we will get from this browser token.web, token.dev. Okay. From here we can see JSON Web Token, string, header, payload, and signing key. These details we are entering in our XML editor. We can see signing key, my secret key for SAP API Management tutorial 2026. So same thing we have updated in value. Save request.header.jwt JSON Web Token. Now we need to click on update, save, click to deploy. Yes, deployed successfully. Now go back to Postman. Here we need to select get operation and we need to enter the URL. Here select the headers. Here we need to add one more key, JSON Web Token. and the value should copy from token.dev. This is our key. So just copy it, paste it, save, and click on edit button. See, here we can see 200 OK response. Let me add one extra value, key, save, and click on set button. See, here we received an error. Invalid token policy JSON Web Token. JSON Web Token. Step.json Web Token invalid token because we added one extra character. That is the reason we are getting this error. So once, let me remove everything. Let's keep it as empty. Let me save and send. See, save. We are receiving that invalid JSON Web Token. So every time when we are triggering, we need to check whether the value is correct or not. If the value is correct only, we will see the correct response we are receiving from the JSON Web Token. This is how we can do with JSON Web Token. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section so we can discuss in deeply. Thanks everyone for watching the video. Bye.